In this video, I'm going to share with you how families nowadays are being weakened and broken apart. And this is not a theory, it comes from real data, it comes from real stories, it comes from what you see around. There was a time when the ultimate sign of success was having a family thriving around you. If you would go back to 100 years from now, you would probably see your great-grandmother with 8 or 9 children. There used to be huge families. My grandmother herself had, I think, 7 or 8 siblings. This was the norm, right? And it's clear that nowadays values are completely different and what people consider important has changed. Now, if you see a family, it's always 3 or 4 people. You know, if it's 4, that's a lot. And to be clear, when I talk about family, I'm not referring to gay couples, because they clearly can't procreate. So I don't know if someone brainwashed you into thinking that same-sex couples can have children. I'm not that kind of person, right? Even if they adopt children, this is still not what a child needs, since a newborn needs the presence of the mother and the father. Coming back to the problem, why is that so that modern society is demonizing family and people, ordinary people, don't see family as a priority? Let's start from a little bit of theory, right? I'm not the only one saying that family is the core of everything. If we go back in time, one of the biggest philosophers, Hegel, wrote that families are the fundamental core, the first societal core. So, having this said, I believe that if someone wants to control you and to have a society of enslaved and weak and passive people, the first thing that they would do would be, let's just destroy families and break them apart and put people against each other so that they don't focus on the one thing that actually matters, which is what Hegel said, family. And to be more precise, Hegel wrote that the family is the fundamental social institution, the first foundation of ethical life. It was literally the first core from which other institutions grow. It all starts from the family, right? Then there's the civil society, and last but not least, the state. So in this video, we are going to explore the reasons why most people cringe when they hear the word family and they literally want to just not have anything to do with families because they see this as, oh my god, like a social construct that is oppressing people. Let's see why they think so. The number one point, I know I'm gonna receive so much hate because of this, but the first thing that has been strategically done to destroy families is to promote LGBTQ culture. Here's the thing, I don't care about what you do in private. You can have same-sex relationships, I don't care. The thing that I will never agree upon is you imposing other people your way of living. So I'm against pride. I'm against teaching children that they can choose whomever they want to be. School books for children teaching them that it's okay to be gay when they are 5. We know that at a young age, our brain is so flexible, literally accepts everything coming from the world. So if you put children on these parades, right, where people dance half naked, what kind of values are you teaching them, right? The reason why this all propaganda is destroying families is because it's clearly not creating couples of men and women that can procreate, right? People are so confused, society is so confused because we lost the basis, the basic foundation. We lost what Hegel told us. When people expect you calling them with other pronouns. I'll tell you a secret here. I was doing my English exam at university and the teacher suspended me because I didn't say they, them, and instead I just used he, because I wasn't being respectful of the social differences. And then you ask me why I don't like institutions. The second way in which they're trying to destroy families is dividing the very foundation of family, which is men and women, putting them against each other. We know that women hate men. I talked about this in other videos. Modern feminism has convinced women that they don't need a man, that having a man is a burden, that a family is not something that they can afford if they want to build a career, and men on their behalf are being distracted, okay? And how is society trying to distract men? By removing the very essence that makes a man, which is testosterone. If you look at research, we have now the lowest levels of testosterone. Like modern 20-year-old boys have the levels of testosterone of a 70-year-old man. This is so revealing of how things are going right now. I'll tell you what happens. While feminists are so busy into blaming men for everything and seeing patriarchy as the source of every evil in the world, okay? Men are distracted. What is the weakest point of man is the flesh, lust, right? So how do you keep a man distracted? The first way is porn, right? The number one addiction for men is porn, okay? A man that has no control over his lust cannot have the control of its own life. How do you keep men trapped? Loathing them with content of half-naked women dancing, showing off their bodies. It's in every social media, literally. If you're a boy, just confirm this to me, please. But you are constantly exposed to content that is just driven towards, beautiful women with, big breasts, big booties, just because the algorithm wants to catch your attention, right? And this is most of the content that teenage boys watch on a daily basis. Maybe it's not porn, but it is things that they see online, which is ultimately creating a bigger problem because women themselves believe that that is normal and that they should be that way. So we see women just trying to hit the unaffordable standards that they see online. So this is a huge societal problem. And ultimately, men have so much social problems in actually approaching girls. Men nowadays are not even having sex. This is terrifying because a man has a biological need, an intrinsic need to have more sexual relationships more than a woman has, right? So if you suppress this need through porns and through this content, we will create a society of weak men, and weak men cannot control a society, okay? And of course, everything is going to hell because men are weak. And women are just being told the wrong things and believing those things. It's all about distracting us, okay? From preventing us to be a strong core, man and female. Men are being castrated in multiple ways. Okay? We are being intoxicated with chemicals that are in everything that we use, every product. From your plastic underwear to the deodorant that you use to perfumes and food. Everything is loaded with chemicals, okay? And chemicals are endocrine disruptors. So this means that they interfere with hormones. So let me introduce you the frog experiment. There was this experiment in the 90s, right? In the United States, where they basically exposed healthy male frogs to very low levels of atrazine, which is basically an agricultural chemical which is widely used in agriculture, okay? So what was the result of that? These frogs were exposed to a very tiny amount of this chemical, and even that, okay, caused them to change their attitude towards sex. Basically, male frogs starting developing feminine features like feminine voice, and they were attracted to other male frogs. Think of what would happen if this was not just one chemical, but a huge array of chemicals literally found in everywhere. Now, after this video, I want you to do a little research and look online all the daily products that you use that have chemicals. Let's say Teflon in your frying pan. Look at men. Men don't look like men. They all look feminine, very small, and even have like very feminine voice. Like in my city, I see this everywhere. The same thing is happening to women as well, because women are castrated with chemicals, yes, but the number one thing I see that actually makes a difference is birth control. Women on the birth control, which is like I would say the majority of women, are kind of held captive, because what does birth control do? It basically fights the action of your natural hormones, basically kills women's sex drive, so you have less libido, you overall look different, right? Many women take birth control for acne. What the birth control does is controlling hormones. And I'm not saying this is bad for every woman, but know that for many women, it actually controls the way you react to things, your emotions. You become a total different person. This is from experience that I had and that people that I know had. Women, of course, are exposed to the chemicals that are found everywhere. And the result is basically castrating women into making them attracted to what is less masculine, okay? So very feminine boys that don't look that strong alpha male that women would normally prefer. And then of course there are differences because people prefer different things, women have different tastes. But overall, what I see and what I see even on social media, you know, very famous couples, is very feminine girls maybe and boys that look like girls, okay? For the voice, for the facial features, for how they dress. And women are attracted to that, okay? Because of the effect of these hormonal disruptors. We basically live with chemicals, from the soap you use to wash the dishes, to the clothes that you wear when to go to the gym, shampoos, everything. So you can choose to ignore what I told you. It's up to you. But you have to know this, okay? Because I don't want a society of people that are blind. If so, I want you to know and at least to be aware of this reality, because it's not fun and games as they're trying to depict us. So I really hope I opened your eyes about this. I know you're gonna have a lot of things to say in the comment. I have received many comments in my last videos, so I'm really happy to see all this interest with regards to this topics. So since I'm really passionate about this, I will definitely continue on talking about this kind of things. Thank you for your support. We're soon going to be to 100. I don't know how that happened. It was literally overnight. So thank you if you subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next videos. Mwah.